What happens to a kid when they grow up in the spotlight with renowned parents? Impressive, in my opinion, is the case with Wolfgang Van Halen, who was born to rock legend Eddie Van Halen and actress Valerie Bertinelli. If you've ever wanted to know what it's like for the son of famous people to strike out on his own, you're in for a real treat. In this article, we will explore Wolfgang's incredible personal, musical, and career transformation in additional detail. Also, I guarantee you that your jaw will drop at the conclusion of this video. Keep watching, this story is too good to pass up. After hearing Wolfgang Van Halen's name, most people can't help but forget it. In case you didn't know, he was born to legendary guitarist Eddie Van Halen and actress Valerie Bertinelli, two of the most famous names in show business and music. Wolfgang had early exposure to the fame world. In his youth, even though Wolfgang came from a famous family, few know how much time he spent building his own career, identity, and sense of self. Being a talented musician in his own right after growing up as the son of rock stars is an incredible transformation. The image of a young man who was always in the spotlight probably comes to mind when you consider Wolfgang. The fact is that he is the son of two stars with immense power. The fact is that Wolfgang's journey hasn't always been easy, but his tremendous growth is evidenced by his emotional and physical changes. He has transformed into an incredible man and carved out a unique niche for himself in the music world. This transformation extends beyond his outward look. Our first consideration should be Wolfgang's physical transformation. Had you seen any photos of him taken recently, you might have been astonished. His appearance now is completely different from when he was a kid or even a teenager. While he was a kid, Wolfgang lived in the shadow of his famous parents and nobody paid any attention to his own sense of style or physical attractiveness. Now, though, the young guy we see in the streets and on stage is, to put it mildly, unrecognizable. Even though Wolfgang has lost weight and changed his wardrobe, his transformation is more extensive than that. What matters most is the difference between his demeanor and the self-assurance he displays now and in the past. Wolfgang had a rough time of it as a teenager due to growing up in a spotlight, sometimes setting and dealing with the loss of his father, Eddie Van Halen. In spite of everything, he managed to succeed. His transformation shows that it's possible to start over and become someone completely different. His journey to better health and fitness is inspiring. In recent years, Wolfgang has put a lot of effort into improving his physical health. Much like other famous people his age, he struggled with his self-esteem and the pressures of growing up in the spotlight. However, because to his dedication to health and fitness, Wolfgang has made some noticeable changes. Keeping a healthy lifestyle and exercising have been important parts of his life, and he has discussed this in interviews, discussing how it affects his appearance. It's about how you feel, not how you look. Wolfgang's transformation reveals that he's a man who has mastered his life, in addition to being a natural rock star. The musical transformation is the next topic to be discussed. Even though it may come as a surprise to many, Wolfgang has spent his entire life on stage. He started studying guitar at a young age, with the greatest influence coming from his father, Eddie Van Halen. As a young boy, Wolfgang watched his dad perform incredible solos on stage, but he was also gaining experience, knowledge, and training in the music industry. But as he matured, Wolfgang realized he wanted more out of life than just being Eddie Van Halen's kid. He wanted to become famous for his original music and the impact he had on rock and roll. Mammoth Vouv, Wolfgang's debut album with his band, truly marks the start of his new era. This is a powerful, moving autobiographical record that shows just how far Wolfgang has gone. There is an abundance of modern alternative, hard rock, and metal on the album. Nonetheless, it stood out due to the music's genuine emotion and depth. You can tell that every song tells a story just by listening to them. Wolfgang has created a sound that is uniquely his own, and he is clearly prepared to leave his father's shadow and become a prominent solo artist. The most remarkable thing about Wolfgang's journey is not just his artistic and physical transformation, but also his personal growth. Wolfgang was always in the spotlight when he was a kid. His legendary father and charming actress mother were Bertinelli brothers. It was not easy to be famous, especially if you were still trying to figure out your life's purpose and identify your identity. After a long battle with cancer, Eddie, Wolfgang's father, passed away in 2020. Among the most difficult things that happened to Wolfgang was the death of his father. Wolfgang, on the other hand, has not let his grief define him, but has instead found healing through music. Mammoth Vouv is an ode to his dad, but it's also about his journey. His songs have been deeply affected by his personal struggles, and he has been open about them. Wolfgang has shown maturity and strength by persevering through personal hardship, even if the trip has been arduous. What does Wolfgang Van Halen have in store for the future? Now that he's proven his capability, the sky is the limit. As proof of his perseverance and determination, consider his transformation from a shy, reserved individual into a self-assured, prosperous rock star. With the continued success of his band Mammoth Vouv, Wolfgang appears to have an even brighter future ahead of him. His musical journey is in its early stages, so we are excited to see what the future holds for him. Please like the post and share your thoughts on Wolfgang Van Halen's journey if you find his incredible transformation to be as motivating as I do. Are you just now becoming familiar with his music, or do you remember him from his days as Eddie Van Halen's son? If you want to see more updates on the stars whose incredible transformations amaze us, be sure to subscribe. Growth, resilience, and most importantly, coming into one's own are themes that run throughout Wolfgang Van Halen's story. The journey he took from being the kid of rock stars to becoming a rock star himself is an inspiring one. His transformation, both physically and emotionally, is an inspiration, as we have seen. The next time you hear his music or watch him perform, keep in mind how far he has gone and how much more he can do.